I have two different headlines to discuss out of Russia. Russia bans child-free propaganda to try to boost birth rate. And why? Because Russia's loss of men in the Ukraine surpasses daily birth rate. You would think that maybe they would just extract themselves and stop being at war. But no, let's not do that. Let's ban child-free propaganda. That's the problem. You got to love these men lawmakers. They just they could just touch the button of where the issues lie. Let's look at these articles. So, first article, Russian bans child-free propaganda to try to boost the birth rate. Summary points, birth rate at its lowest in 25 years, mortality rate up. Putin's Russia wants to protect traditional family values. Women cite financial insecurity as main reason for not having children. Law joins other restrictions on free expression in Russia. Russia's lower house of parliament voted unanimously on Tuesday to ban what authorities cast as pernicious propaganda for a child-free way of life, hoping to boost faltering birth rate. Official data released in September put the birth rate at its lowest in a quarter of a century, while mortality rates are up as Moscow's war in Ukraine rages on. The Kremlin called the figures catastrophic for the future of the nation. President Vladimir Putin, who has cast Russia as a bastion of traditional values, locked in an existential struggle with a decadent West, has encouraged women to have at least 3 children, saying that will help secure the future of Russians. There are already financial and other incentives. The law, expected to swiftly be approved by the upper house of parliament, and Putin joins other restrictions on free expression, including a ban on content deemed to promote non-traditional lifestyles such as same-sex relationships or gender fluidity, as well as on dissenting accounts of the conflict in Ukraine. Authors of child-free propaganda will be subject to fines of up to 400,000 rubles, that's around $4,100 for individuals, twice the amount for officials, and up to 5 million rubles, that's $51,000 for legal entities. Some 599,600 children were born in Russia in the first half of 2024, which is 16,000 fewer than the first half of 2023. Good job, ladies. Good job. And it's the lowest since 1999. Excellent job. The number of deaths jumped by 49,000. However, immigration jumped by 20%. Now, this is the thing. The number of deaths jumped by 49,000. You would think that maybe they could just fix that part by extracting themselves from the war, but probably not because, men. Estimates in the CIA's World Factbook put Russia among the 40 countries with the lowest birth rate in 2023 at around 9.22 per thousand population, slightly ahead of Germany at 9.02, but well behind China at 9.7 and the United States at 12.21. Now, 12.21 per thousand, ladies in America, y'all, we can do this. Let's get this number down. Let's get this. We're doing too much. This number, no, this is not what we're going for. We're trying to get it to plummet to hell. All right, so we are talking about protecting citizens, primarily the younger generation, from information disseminated in the media space that has a negative impact on the formation of people's personality, said Vyacheslav Volodin. Please forgive me if I mess that up. Chairman of the lower house and a senior Putin ally. Women say better living standards will boost the birth rate, but some women are skeptical. Alina Raznova, a 33-year-old who lives in Yaroslav, 250 kilometers northeast of Moscow, was once determined not to have children, but now has an 8-month-old son. People want children, but there's no money. That's why people are not having children, not because someone somewhere wrote something. In Moscow, Yana, a 40-year-old woman who says she did not want to have children and declined to give her surname because of the subject's sensitivity, said she too felt that ensuring decent living standards, particularly beyond the big cities, could help reverse the declining birth rate. So women are speaking, but the men. People have children when they are confident in tomorrow. But when mortgage rates reach 20% a year, I don't think it's a good time to have unlimited children. A child-free community is where people on the same wavelength discuss why they don't want children. Do they have the right to discuss it? They do. I guess they do not. It is unlikely that a lot of young people will read it and say, I don't want children either. All right, and then they give the exchange rate with dollars and rubles. Now, onto this article. Russia's loss of men in Ukraine surpasses daily birth rate. Both of these articles came out yesterday. Some 1950 troops died on Monday, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine's most recent update on X. This is more than the average number of males born daily in 2022, the most recent year for which Statista Research Department has recorded data. In 2022, around 670,000 boys were born, amounting to about 1,800 on average per day. It is difficult to independently verify battlefield casualties, and neither Russia nor Ukraine offer up regular updates on how many fighters in their own ranks have been unalive or injured. It is worth noting that 2022 saw a decrease in births for both girls and boys amid a countrywide birth rate crisis, which has been attributed to deaths in the Russia Ukraine war. The average daily birth rate for boys in 2021 and 2020 was above 1950. The defense of Ukraine put out this tweet. It says, in war, the heroes always outnumber the soldiers 10 to 1. The combat losses of the enemy from February 24th to 2022 to November 12th, 2024. And they are putting it at over 712,000. So that is what the defense of Ukraine is saying. Look at this. The Russian government is looking at opening a ministry of sex, in addition to paying female students between the ages of 18 and 23 in some regions, including Khabarovsk, about $1,100 to have one child, according to the Indian newspaper Economic Times. One child, $1,100. Y'all, sis, that's not worth it. In September, Russia recorded its lowest birth rate in 25 years in the first 6 months of 2024, with the number of infants deliveries dropping below 100,000. The current birth rate is 1.5 children per woman, compared with 1.8 per woman in the US. The United States is about 1.6, and I do think that we could get it lower. The compensation for having a child differs in various Russian regions, with the payment for giving birth to one child as high as 8,500. Is that pounds? Is this pounds? 8,500 pounds, maybe, which is nearly $11,000 for the firstborn in the city of Chelyabinsk. The Russian government has discussed and implemented numerous incentives to convince the population to have more children. Moscow has even proposed the use of public funds to pay for newlywed couples' wedding night hotel stays for up to 26,000 rubles, that's around $275, to promote pregnancies. In addition to paying female students to have children, the Russian government has worked to increase the number of children born by encouraging women to conceive at work. I talked about this before. He's like, you got a lunch break? Go out and get it. Oh, we laughed at that there. Man, we had a time. We had a time laughing at these leaders. Whew. Russia, just end the war. That, like, stop trying to go over the people's lands and take over people's lands. Like, just cut that out, because you're not going to make women have babies simply so you have more fighters for future wars. You're taking out your men. You're taking out your young men, your men of working age right now. Maybe just stop that. But I'm not a war strategist or anything. I'm not a leader in the government. So what do I know? Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Oh my goodness. Getting the news that Matt Gaetz has been nominated to be Attorney General, I laughed out loud, but it's like a resigned laughter. And we already knew that the Republicans were probably going to win the House. We already knew that. So they literally have everything. They have everything. So there's nothing that we can do. So how we cope, how the rest of us cope, is just a matter of opinion. But I'm just sitting back and I'm just going to watch what they do to this country because there's no pushing back. There's no pushing back. They won. Now they're going to be able to push through all of the laws. They're going to be able to deport as many people as they want. They're going to be able to slash all of the DEI that they want. There is nothing holding me back, holding them back. There's nothing holding me back. Oh, sorry. I really do like Shawn Mendes. Do you like Shawn Mendes? I know that's really random. Ooh, President-elect Donald Trump on Wednesday nominated Republican Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida to serve as the United States Attorney General. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said that Gaetz would root out root he's going to root out systemic corruption. Oh, man. Oh my goodness. MAGA, y'all win. You win. Gaetz quickly replied on X, "It will be an honor to serve as President Trump's Attorney General." This is going to be amazing. This is going to be an amazing next 4 years. And then yesterday, we heard Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy would lead a new Department of Government Efficiency in the Trump administration. And I mean, that just sounds amazing. Good choice. But what is wild is already today, that was just yesterday. Then today, Elon Musk may already be overstaying his welcome in Trump's orbit because they got all these big personalities, all these big fringe personalities in one space. This is going to be interesting. It says tech billionaire Elon Musk was handed a major win yesterday, Tuesday evening, when President-elect Donald Trump announced that the Tesla and SpaceX CEO would co-lead the Department of Government Efficiency with Vivek Ramaswamy. The announcement reinforces the closeness that Musk has managed to achieve with Trump, even after the election. But for some people in Trump's orbit, Musk's presence has felt overbearing. Musk has been so aggressive in pushing his views about Trump's second term that he's stepping on the toes of Trump's transition team and may be overstaying his welcome at Mar-a-Lago, according to two people familiar with the transition who have spent time at Palm Beach, Florida resort over the past week. Sources said that Musk's near constant presence at Mar-a-Lago in the weeks since Election Day has begun to wear on people who've been in Trump's inner circle longer than the tech billionaire and who see him as overstepping his role in the transition. The sources speak on the condition of anonymity because they're not authorized to speak publicly. He's behaving as if he's a co-president and making sure everyone knows it. Let's talk about the rest of his appointments. Trump's early second term appointments fuel fears of extremist agenda. We knew this. The people that have worked with him already have said that they were going for Kamala Harris for a reason. We have been talking about Project 2025 for months now. We have been sounding the alarm, but people have not listened to us. So now he gets to nominate all of these people. MAGA, you should be so proud. On immigration, Trump has chosen loyalists and hardliners. Stephen Miller will serve as Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Department of Homeland Security Advisor. Tom Homan as Border Czar, and Kristi Noem, the South Dakota governor, will lead the Department of Homeland Security. Miller, previously a Trump advisor, played a significant role in crafting Trump's immigration policies in his first administration, including the Muslim ban. Looking at you, Muslims who voted for Trump. Homan was the former acting director of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement under Trump's first administration and a supporter of family separation policy. Noem has been a vocal and strong Trump ally for the better part of a decade. This trio is likely to help bring fruition to Trump's campaign promise of mass deportation of millions of undocumented migrants living in the United States. On Tuesday, Trump shocked the Pentagon and the wider defense world by this by appointing the Army veteran and Fox News host. A Fox News host is because he needs loyalists, whoever Pete Hegseth is, as the new defense secretary. He hired a Fox News host as the defense secretary. A staunch conservative, Hegseth opposes what he calls woke military programs aimed at promoting equity and inclusion, and has questioned the role of women in combat. He has also advocated for pardoning service members accused of war crimes. That is who he well, okay, that's going to go over well. He reportedly formed a friendship with Trump during his appearances on Fox and Friends, speaking with Politico. Eric Edelman, who served as the Pentagon's top policy official during the Bush administration, said that Trump's choices so far revealed that he puts his highest value on loyalty, adding that one of the main criteria appeared to be how well do people defend Donald Trump on television, on TV. This is Pete Rykoff, founder of Independent Veterans of America, criticized Hegseth's appointment on X, describing the Fox News host as undoubtedly the least qualified nominee for Secretary of Defense in American history and the most overtly political. Brace yourself, America. Mike Huckabee, the former Arkansas governor who previously claimed there is no such thing as a West Bank, was chosen as the next U.S. ambassador to Israel, indicating a return to an explicitly pro-Israel administration reminiscent of Trump's first. The Jewish Democratic Council of America, criticized Huckabee's nomination, stating that his extremist views on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict would not advance U.S. national security or prospects for peace. Did we really think that Trump wanted peace? Do we really think that? Signaling a more combative U.S. position toward the United Nations, the New York representative Elise Stefanik has been chosen to be the next ambassador. Stefanik has called to defund the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees. Stefanik gained attention last year after her aggressive questioning of 3 university presidents over anti-Semitism on campuses. Jerry Connolly, a Democratic representative, criticized the appointment of Stefanik, telling The Hill it was a gift to Vladimir Putin and adding that she abandoned Ukrainians in April, and this further signals Donald Trump and MAGA's retreat from the global stage. On Saturday, Trump announced that Mike Pompeo, the former Secretary of State who criticized the former president and his policies over the years, and Nikki Haley, the former UN ambassador who challenged Trump in the Republican primary, would not be part of his second administration. The rejection of Haley and Pompeo may also be viewed as the rejection of 2 individuals who have backed U.S. support for the Ukraine. John Ratcliffe, a close ally of Trump and former director of national intelligence, has been appointed as director of the CIA. Let me know what you think of all of these choices so far. Hopefully, Joe Rogan gets a space somewhere in the administration. Joe Rogan definitely belongs in this whole thing somewhere. Let me know who all you believe belong somewhere in this administration. Probably Hulk Hogan as well. Joe Rogan and Hulk Hogan or something. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.